So if you're here for just like the quick and dirty of it, here it is. Not going to be streaming a lot. Not going to be uploading normal videos a lot. What up, YouTube? Fiercely on here. I'm bringing you a channel update video to let y'all know what's been going on, how things are going. I'm going to put it a lot up front. I'm not going to edit too much. I'm going to keep it raw. I know some of you guys prefer no edits, makes it feel more real between the two of us. But for those of you who are just going to click, want to know the information up front, here it is. I'm not stopping, but my plans and trajectory for what I'm doing with the future of the channel and videos is going to be not like you're used to. I'm not really that into streaming right now. I haven't had a lot of fun streaming the last couple of times I've streamed. Pokopia was fun, but for the most part, I think I'm just not in. I'm not a good streamer, and I don't feel good when I stream a lot of times, and so there's that. Streams are gonna not be stopping. There might be a couple of games that I stream. There's a couple of games that are coming out that I'm not interested in streaming, but I am interested in covering to some degree. So quick note: I'm not done streaming. I am definitely going to stream Pokemon next year when it comes out, but between now and then, I don't know what realistically I will want to stream. I thought I would want to stream anime. I got into the closed beta. We'll talk about that later. But I don't think I want to stream that game either. So streaming is maybe largely gone. I'm not saying it's completely gone, but for the most part, I don't think I'm going to stream too much anymore. And I also don't think I'm going to be trying to do any more like episodes or episodic style content like you're used to, like the Nuzlocks and things like that. Maybe there will be a change. I've been in talks with Ryu and maybe Hefe and maybe Chaos. But mostly Ryu has reached out to me and said some stuff about wanting to do some videos, but we've also played a lot of games together, and we haven't talked about doing any recordings, so that may or may not manifest. But for the most part, videos of that nature are not really also not really going to be continuing going forward. What will continue? That's probably why you're here, or why you clicked on the video if you did. I think I might be interested in trying to just give my thoughts. Just come in on what new game comes out. I want to play it for me, and just I love just like diving into a thing and like chewing on it and like absorbing it. Like my favorite game last year was Expedition 33. I don't think that's a big secret to anybody. My second favorite game last year was Dispatch. That's also not really a surprise to a lot of my friends. Both of those games were story heavy games, and they were games that were like single player, and I got to just really chew into them. But they're also like kind of one playthrough, maybe a couple playthrough. I'm not normally someone who replays through games. So unless it's for like achievement hunting or trophy hunting or whatever it might be. But yeah, so quick takeaways. I'm not quitting, but I'm definitely going to be slowing down in the way that you guys might be used to, which, I mean, I haven't uploaded anything in a while, so I guess you might be used to me not doing much of anything. But I think a big part of me slowing down is because I've come to this realization that I don't really have a lot of fun streaming, or the allure that streaming used to have on me years ago does not have that same sway on me now. I'm much more interested, excuse me, much more interested in really just playing the games that I want to play. And I think what I can do best for the platform, if I'm going to do anything for the platform, is to just enjoy the games that I want to enjoy, and then share what things I enjoyed about the game with you guys. So if you're here for just like the quick and dirty of it, here it is. Not going to be streaming a lot, not going to be uploading normal videos a lot, and might be transitioning more into either reviews or just like thoughts and feelings kind of content, and just kind of going with that. Maybe a quote unquote podcast style. I wouldn't put a podcast label on it, but there you go. Now, if that's all you came here for, there you go. You can click off. You can do whatever you want to do. But for those of you who want to stick around and listen to me yap for a second, I don't like using these new terms, but it's kind of like ingrained because I also watch streamers. Surprising, I know, content creators, whatever, and they are more quote unquote hip or up to date with terminologies and things like that. So I do find myself sometimes saying things that I wouldn't normally say, but I'll hear them say it, and then it like kind of earwigs into me. Anyway, the point is that I'm here to talk about what I could be doing in the future. I have had some discussions with some of my other friends about like, maybe just streaming isn't for me, or whatever. Like some people, I've been told kind of all my life, not all my life, but a lot in my 20s and older. I'm gonna be 35 this year, so a long ass fucking time ago, grandpa, get off the platform. But I've been told that I have a nice voice by multiple people across my life. I don't really see it, but most people should know that your own worst enemy is yourself. Your people are prone to putting themselves down or not really thinking about themselves in a positive light. And I said I wasn't going to do a lot of cuts, but I think I'm going to do a cut now because I want to drink and I fucking forgot to. All right, we're back. So anyway, sorry about that. But I have talked to some of my friends about doing things like maybe do a podcast when you just talk about stuff and, get your thoughts out there. Me and a buddy of mine, we Kick a Ninja, I believe was what his online handle was going to be. Actually recorded some demos for a potential podcast. We got an early like an intro, and we had a name for the podcast. We had like an intro started. We were trying to do some stuff, and we were just talking about games and whatnot. And then that never really manifested into anything either. So I just kind of went into limbo on that. I'm not good at, just as you can tell by the format of this channel update video, I'm not really good at just sitting here talking to the camera by myself. At least I don't think so. I think that I do better whenever I have someone that I can kind of bounce off of and kind of ping pong ideas back and forth in topics. But so also anyone that is or has been like wondering like, oh, you didn't finish this project, or oh, you never finished uploading these videos, or like whatever it might be, there's a backlog of videos that were pre-recorded that I probably will upload, but I might just kind of upload like a mishmash of things. There's also some cool clips that I've saved on the PlayStation over the past several years that are kind of clogging up the place, so I might convert those into some stuff, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do that or not. I mentioned the animo thing. Speaking of uploading videos, I am still planning on uploading an animo video, at least one, maybe more, but nothing too crazy. I initially was like, oh man, this is going to become like a lifestyle game for me. I played the third beta. I believe it was the third closed beta. I got lucky enough to get in. Thank you guys over there at Paw Print for letting me in. That was super awesome. The worst part was that it coincided directly with the Power World 1.0 update, which my friends and I, we bought a server. We kept our server from last year, and but we restarted it, and man, everyone wanted to restart it. That's okay. I didn't want to weigh in because I didn't want to sway anybody, but I was the only one that didn't want to restart. And I think because for me, I was not excited to restart for like the 7th time in Power World. I was just like, man, just let me play the new stuff and let me just go. Let me just go. But we agreed to restart it. I didn't complain or make no fuss about it until honestly after I already beat the whole thing, because I stopped playing and I stopped getting on a lot. And I had a friend of mine that I was talking to. He's like, "Oh, well, you ain't gotten on in a while." And I was like, "Yeah, because I did what I finally wanted to do. I didn't want to restart, but I didn't want to cuck everybody else out of their like fresh experience. So I just said fuck it, and I just like just hard grinded it for the few first like week, and then got to the final boss. Spoiler, and I'm not gonna say nothing, but got to the tree, did all the stuff, got to the hardest things, and then uh, there was one point where one of my friends said a comment about, "Oh, you got the platinum when it was easy to get the platinum, now everybody's like so much harder." And I was like, you know what? Oh, fuck you. So I got on the server again just to go through and get like beat all the bosses on hard mode again, just to like be like, all right, fuck you. Now I've done what would have been the equivalent of getting the the platinum trophy, the I would say the hardest trophy on to then get the platinum trophy. So fuck you, Desty, if you're out there listening, suck it. That's what you get. Now I have would have been able to platinum it twice. Anyway, enough about Power World and Animo. I might have videos on those. I'm not here to argue about Pokemon, Animo, Power World, any of that stuff. I like each of those games for different reasons. But Pokemon is and will always remain my first love. Sorry to those other games. They have a different thing that they do, and they do it well. But like, no amount of hate on the internet will make me stop loving Pokemon. I still maintain that if Pokemon was less safe with their IP and more willing to give us games like what the new uprising contemporaries are doing, we wouldn't be having the discussions around those games that we are having now. We would just be having a good time. But anyway, scratch all that crap. I don't care about all that crap. What I care about is what I'm planning on doing. So, speaking of Pokemon, Game Freak is releasing a new game tonight. I'm going to be playing that new game tonight. Beast of Reincarnation looks really cool. I'm going to be playing it, and I will probably do a video. I'm not going to be streaming it. I'm not going to be making like episode content or anything like that for it. I'm gonna bite into it. I'm gonna chew on it until either A, I no longer have any fun with it, or B, until I beat it. That's the kind of gamer I am. I really like to immerse myself into a game, like full 100%. I want in. The only trouble is similar to the Animo beta that I got into. There's another game that I've been waiting for a long time, and I'll just say this blanket statement: I love single player games. I love letting myself get immersed into single player games, and I am the type of person that hates spoilers. So I try to front load as much of myself into a game, so if I just happen to stumble across something on the internet or have a conversation with a friend, I won't be in danger of getting upset because someone spoiled something for me, because can't spoil something for me if I've already beaten it and done everything in the game. So that out of the way. The Big Walk is coming out literally tomorrow. So Beast of Reincarnation tonight, Big Walk tomorrow, and I am first and foremost a person who plays games with his friends. There are some exceptions, like when E33 came out, I said, hey guys, probably not going to see me for a couple of days because I am going balls to the wall all the way in on this. But once I beat it, I was like, okay. I wish I had other friends that did play it so I could like talk about it. I wrote down a bunch of ideas and like conversation pieces. I was so like biting my tongue because it's having conversations with people on the internet is like impossible because people act a different way than they would in a real conversation with a real human being. So it's interesting. I had all these like points that I wanted to talk about and like discussion pieces that were based on people's reactions at the first like 2-3 days on the internet. I'm like, those people are just reacting that way because of this. So like I never ended up having any of those discussions, having any of those points. But yeah, so I'm planning on playing Beast of Reincarnation tonight. I'm gonna get out of it what I can because I have a very strong interest in playing the Big Walk with my friends the next day, and I'll continue playing Beast of Reincarnation. I just wonder if the Big Walk is gonna be my Power World, where like because I have a bunch of friends that are gonna be able to get it for free. We mostly play on PlayStation. I have this big fancy new PC, um, but I'm not a PC gamer. I mostly got it because the state of like AI and RAM and all this stuff kind of made me feel like, oh shit, if I don't get this now, then I probably won't be able to get it for years until that climate changes. And so I was just like, yeah, let's get this now. Um, but I didn't do that for the PlayStation 5 Pro. I probably should have, but I was like, it'll be fine. I don't think there's any games that are going to come out. And then GTA 6 announced that it's coming out. I don't know if I'm going to get GTA 6. Calm down, guys. I don't know if I'm going to get GTA 6 or not. Even though it comes out on a very specific day that I'm like, fuck. I mean, like, what else is coming out in November, you know? Speaking of games that are no. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is just a channel update video, but I front loaded the information for people to click off fast. But for those who stuck around, I appreciate you. Just know that there will be more videos coming. There might be more videos like this where I just kind of like, go on a rant for a little bit. There's a lot of things I have in mind for possible videos in the future. I had a couple of ideas for, I'm sure you guys, everyone watches Ryan George. He does the pitch meeting videos of like movies. And there was one of his videos where he took questions from people in his comment section, and someone had asked him why he doesn't do video game ones. I had that same question. I'm so glad someone else asked it because I'm not a commenter really. I'm not big on putting myself out there in the context of like having conversations with people online, especially like commenting on videos, commenting on Reddit posts and things like that. I have a Reddit and I have like some things, but I really don't want to like engage with people because the type of people that do that sometimes there's a louder minority that I just don't want to interact with a lot of times. So I'm just like, it's not worth it because I get very heated. I not mostly online, but like I'll like let it like fester in my head. I'm like, God, if I could like reach through the screen and just fucking choke you, but it's not a good place to be. This you know what? Just clear it out while you can. Don't have that. Don't have hate in your heart. It's best to just people just need to like be good to each other, but because the internet is like this thin veil that like lets them like pretend that there's someone that they're not, and they're like, haha, I can get one up on you. Pushes glasses. I don't even need these damn glasses. I just think I like the way that they make me look. I don't require seeing correctional devices. I just like the way that they make me look. So whatever. Plus I got a new haircut and I'm not super a fan of it. I doubt my hairstylist is gonna watch this video, but it's not your fault. It's mine. I should have said something. I don't know. There's just something about it. It really like sits in a way that like I instantly missed my like 2 inches of hair that I got chopped off. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, the point is that Ryan George makes the videos about pitch meetings, and I was like, man, why didn't you do that for video games? And he's like, frankly, because it's way harder to do them for video games, and I don't have the time to do that. He has to completely beat the game, or at least a good enough amount of the game to make the pitch of the pitch guy make sense when he's talking. He basically does like a summary of the whole movie and it's much easier to just watch a 2-hour movie and then sum it all up in a jokey way. And I'm like, man, maybe I should do that. And I'm like, but then will people even like, do I have the chops? No, I do not have the chops. That is the first thing. But do I have the like ability to play through a game and then think about it in like a front to back format where you have to work through all these pieces and be like, okay, well, this and this and this and this, and what parts can I figure out that would be funny to like redo a thing. Like, so let's do Final Fantasy 7. Like, oh, and then wouldn't it be crazy if we like killed this character that you spent all this time and effort into, and then the other guy being like, what the hell? I don't know. Anyway, it would take a type of muscle that I have no business working out or flexing. And another person who I watch their YouTube videos, and I'm sure a lot of people who watch me might, or if you haven't, maybe I'll turn you on to them, and then it'll be a great time. Bruce do. Man, I love listening to that guy's videos because he and I didn't live this same life by any stretch of the imagination, but listening to his stories and his like telling of like when he was a younger kid in elementary school or being in high school or even being a man in his young 20s, living with friends or like whatever, like, man, I'm like, I have some fucking stories I could tell too. But I'm not gonna like rip off his whole, that's his whole deal. Not that I think that I could. I think that I would probably get like a couple of video views maybe, and then you would get the people that would come and be like, you're just copying him, and I'm like, these are still my experiences and my life stories. I just, no one wants to sit here and watch me talk about it. They would probably want to see a little like stick figure or like whatever the hell. And so I haven't done any of that, but I did think about doing things like that. I'm like, man, I could do something similar to that, tell people my story. Something that Tyler has that I definitely don't have is the ability to tell the story in a way that seems like I've turned the other cheek. And I have, like, I've forgiven friends that definitely do not deserve forgiving, but I don't have the ability to tell the story in a way that makes it seem like I'm too, like, yeah, this is how it happened. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? Whereas he tells it in a very hilarious way. And I respect that about him, even though, some of this, I love Bruce too. And I love, Ryan George. You guys should check them out if you guys have never heard of them before, if by some miracle. But anyway, so yeah, that's just where my mind's been. I've been thinking about ways to do the YouTubes in different ways. I'm a gamer first. I will always be a gamer first. That's where my mind goes. So I think about things in that way. But I do know that I don't want to become a YouTuber for games in the sense that I've been doing it, like streaming or creating episodes. Like, hey, I upload like videos and you guys watch my trajectory through the game. No, that it no longer interests me in the way that it did. And this is not your guys' fault in any way, not the viewer's fault. It's 100% my fault for not being able to separate the two. But there are a slew of games that are in my backlog that I started or that I streamed like once or twice, or I started as like a project on YouTube for video content in some way, shape, or form. And like, I can't decouple. Maybe after this video I can, but currently I just have not been able to decouple the idea that no, this is a game that I've promised to my stream. I can't play this off stream. It's so hard to do that, and it's so hard for me to like get away from that mindset, which is another reason why I'm not going to continue doing it from here on out. Instead, what I'm going to do is play games that I like, play games that I think would be fun to maybe then do a review of or do a conversation about with someone, like some of my friends, and bring them on as like a guest, and we just sit here and we fucking chat and we just talk about things. Maybe I'll go back to some old games that I really enjoyed that weren't maybe received super well. Anthem, but Anthem is a live service game that got shut down. Anyway, it was a game that I loved that I wish that more people gave a chance, because man, did it deserve better than what it got. But maybe there are some hidden gems that I'll be able to like bring to people that people don't already have in their mind or in their like purview. So I have some friends that have said like, man, every time you suggest me a game, it like it's a banger, and they end up like, for example, Stellaris was a game that I liked the idea of, but it just when I bought it, what I thought it was going to be was not the game that ended up being. I still like Stellaris and I still ended up playing a bunch of Stellaris, but at the time that I bought it, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like a tycoon type game. Not in the slightest. I don't know why I thought that. I think just because of seeing it, like the stills of it made me think that it was closer to like a Sim City or something. So I just kind of got the vibe that it was going to be like a tycoon game. It was not, by the way. It is not. It's like a 4X game. Still great. Still love it. But it instantly became like one of my other friends, like probably one of his most played games that has on his PlayStation. Full stop. So it is a great game. But there's a lot of instances of that where I have suggested or brought a game into the fold of one of my friends or just the group as a whole, and then that game became like a game that was massive for them but less so for me, but like I've helped shine a light on these games. So I thought maybe that's something that I could provide to the world in this space. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I think I've yammered on enough ranting. I will keep you guys in mind, and I will keep thinking about things that I can do to keep myself on this platform in some way. I know that there are some people that really like me or like really value what I've brought, but maybe that's only for the games. So who knows? You know, maybe a new audience will come in, maybe no audience will come in, and I will slowly die in obscurity like everybody else in this insignificant speck of dust that we have. But hey, it's our speck of dust. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.